Beer's in the fridge. Folks, together, over the coming days and the coming weeks, we're going to unify.
Attorney General Alan Wilson is moving on as the Republican candidate for governor. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Tessa Spencer.
And I'm Ashley Ryan. Tonight, Wilson telling supporters of his opponent, Lieutenant Governor Pamela Evette, they are now welcome to join his fight for the governor's desk.
And it was a really quick runoff decision, with the AP confirming Wilson as the winner less than 30 minutes after polls closed. And a look at the numbers, Wilson officially taking 68% of the vote, getting over double the number of votes as Evette.
Well, our team coverage includes News 4's Cameron Limes in Myrtle Beach for Evette's watch party.
But we'll start with News 4's Emily Deanne live in Columbia tonight. Emily, you've been tracking Alan Wilson's campaign all day. How's the celebration been since the race was called tonight?
Tessa, Ashley, it's an empty ballroom now, but cheers erupted tonight at Alan Wilson's victory party as the Attorney General secured the nomination for governor, Republican nomination for governor. During his victory speech, he outlined an ambitious plan, saying one of the first things he would do would create a South Carolina version of DOGE to cut government waste, root out fraud, and increase accountability in state agencies. He also pledged to eliminate the state income tax, fix roads and bridges, and allow for school choice for families, as well as cut down on government waste.
People are skeptical. So many people across the state of South Carolina are skeptical about their government. They've become cynical. They're tired of the status quo. They're tired of elected officials just saying whatever they can say to get elected. But folks, I'm telling you, that is over. Our number one goal will be to make living in our state more affordable for your families. To make our economy more profitable for your businesses. And to make our government more accountable to you. But I promise you this, I will never forget that I work for you, the people.
Wilson thanked his family, his supporters, his campaign staff, and all of those who endorsed him throughout his run of campaign, including President Donald Trump, who only endorsed him after endorsing Pamela Evette back on May 29th. He also thanked Pamela Evette along with his former Republican opponents, including Congresswoman Nancy Mace. Wilson closed by saying the governor's office belongs to the people of South Carolina and vowed to put them first if elected in November. Reporting in Columbia, Emily Tian, ABC News 4.
Thank you, Emily. And we now head to the Lieutenant Governor's headquarters in Myrtle Beach. News 4's Cameron Limes is there, and Cam, certainly not the outcome Evette and her team wanted tonight.
And the energy started high here tonight with Evette supporters taking over the ballroom, ready to cheer on the candidate that they had voted for. But just as those polls closed, the mood started to dampen. We actually saw you could feel the mood in the room shift just 26 minutes after the polls closed. AP projecting that Alan Wilson had won the election, won the runoff, and you could see the news spread around the room as the evening went on. Evette taken to the stage shortly thereafter, thanking her supporters, her friends, and her family for the race.
This race wasn't about me. It never has been. It's been about you. The people, the taxpayers, the business owners, the families who make our state the best in the world. This wasn't just a campaign for me, it was a movement. A movement built around keeping South Carolina the best place to live, to work, and to raise your family. This isn't the end of anything for me. It is just the beginning of a different chapter. I'm still going to fight for the people of South Carolina every day.
Evette did say that she was disappointed, of course, with the turnout, but she will be supporting Wilson in the November election, claiming that the stakes are just too high to allow a Democrat to take the governor's office. And Evette has done historically well here in Horry County, but we do have Ashley at the big wall. Ashley, how well did she do here tonight? What did it look like for her in Horry County?
Well, yeah, Ken, that's actually a good point. It's the only county that she really stood out in. And if you take a look at Horry County specifically, she won by about 13,000 votes. It just was not enough, not even close. Take a look at the big picture here. We're talking about total domination by Alan Wilson, crushing her with 118,000 votes higher. When you take a look at the state picture here, he killed it in the Low Country, the Midlands, where he's from. Let's take a look at Lexington County, winning it by 13,000 there. And then interesting in the upstate, because that is actually where Congressman Ralph Norman did really well 2 weeks ago. And Wilson stealing all 5 of those counties in his favor. We saw Greenville County actually had the highest voter turnout, sitting at about 42,000 tonight. So it is pretty remarkable for a runoff race. So those are some of the big storylines when it comes to the race for governor. He is now set to face off against Jermaine Johnson for the governor's seat in November. And Johnson did issue a statement today saying in part the Republican primary is over, but the challenges facing South Carolina remain the same. This campaign has never been about personalities. It's about the people of South Carolina. Well, now let's take a look at the race to replace Wilson as AG, taking a look at that race tonight. And some interesting storylines here. So you can see about a 38,000 margin here. David Stumbo now moving on in the race. And taking a look at the map here, he did really well in the Low Country, but he lost. Stephen Goldfitch did well in Horry County as well as Georgetown County. But for the most part, Stumbo just stealing the show and honestly stealing a lot of counties compared to 2 weeks ago. David Pasco did really well in Dorchester County, and all those votes, a lot of them going to Stumbo as well as Orangeburg County. So you can see here again, he just did really well tonight and is now moving on. That race was called around 8:45, and in his victory speech, he repeatedly credited his faith and thanked his family and supporters.
Everybody in this room fighting like crazy for the next few months to make sure when we're standing there on election night in November that we are officially the next Attorney General of South Carolina.
Well, Stumbo also pledged to defend conservative values. He'll face Democrat Richard Rissick in November.
Thanks, Ashley. And in the race to replace Congresswoman Nancy Mace, we're watching the runoff results on both sides of the aisle for the 1st Congressional District. On the Republican side, it's Jenny Costa Honeycutt taking on Mark Smith. At one point, Smith was leading Honeycutt by 145 votes, but a major comeback by Honeycutt, winning that race by more than 3,000 votes. And News 4's Jane Caroline Fusco joins us now with the latest developments on James Island. Jane?
Well, Tessa, there were a few nervous moments as the lead between them shifted back and forth. But as the night went on, Honeycutt's lead did grow, and so did the excitement here at Charleston Crab House.
I've said this since the beginning. I'm not going to be your TikTok congressperson. I am there to provide serious, steady leadership. I will focus on our constituents first and building relationships with those in Washington to advance the agenda that the American people want to see, to bring relief and affordability, to bring security, and to bring common sense values, just like we appreciate here in the Low Country to Washington.
Honeycutt, a small business owner and Charleston County Council member, touting her local government experience throughout her time on the campaign trail. Actually, several county council members were here tonight to support her. And after putting steady leadership as one of her top goals on the campaign trail, she's now looking towards November and a face-off between her and Democrat Nancy LaCour. Live on James Island, Jane Caroline Fusco, News 4.
Thank you, Jane. And on the Democratic side in the 1st District congressional race, Mac DeFord and Nancy LaCour, the race got lots of attention and now a winner. Nancy LaCour earns the nomination. News 4's Webb Wright is live at LaCour's watch party in Mount Pleasant. Webb?
Well, here in Mount Pleasant, they've cut out the lights and the party is over, but the celebration no doubt continues for Nancy LaCour. She came into this runoff playing with the lead. She won the primary by 8 points over Mac DeFord, and she was able to make that lead stand up, even though the numbers maybe got a little bit tighter during this runoff. And in the end, it is Nancy LaCour. She is parlaying a 35-year naval career that saw her rise to the rank of vice admiral. before losing her job during the Trump military shakeup when he came into office last year. But now she's looking to serve in a different type of capacity, and she is fully focused on the race ahead.
We were talking to voters, we were listening to voters, and just really hitting home on the messages and the issues that are, on top of mind for them. They want somebody with integrity. They want somebody who just knows how to lead, who's ready to get to work. I think they're tired of the show horse that we've seen in the current representative, and they're ready for a workhorse. It's very humbling, and I am very grateful that people are putting their support behind me. Somebody, again, with no political background, ready, somebody just walked out of the military into a campaign.
And so now Nancy LaCour faces a different test, trying to turn this red seat currently held by Nancy Mace blue. For now, live in Mount Pleasant, working for you, Webb Wright, News 4. We'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Webb. And joining us now with a deeper dive into tonight's runoff results, Dr. Mark Owens, Assistant Professor of Political Science at the Citadel. Yeah. Thank you for sticking around all day and hanging out with us and watching the results come in as we are watching them as well. Alan Wilson has won the GOP nomination for governor. The race called very early. Almost by 7:30, 7:26, the AP called it for him. Were you surprised at how early that was, and why do you think the voters chose him over Evette?
Yeah, right now, it could really think a lot of voters whose candidates didn't make it into the runoff, I think were open to choose. They still wanted to have their votes cast. But for the lieutenant governor, she was able to still keep her voters in support. And I think when you look at that, that's the story of this election. The turnout was not as high as the years we've seen in the before, so like 6 years ago, but it was still like, a lot of voters looking to see who could be their Republican nominee for governor. I think they were more certain in what they were going to get. There was a running mate already selected, right? You're thinking about, in this case, already a plan of what someone could do in Columbia. And with those questions, I think that was convincing to a lot of voters.
It seems like he was prepared more. He came with already the full package.
And a lot of voters across the state sort of saw that. And it just is a question of that jump of winning by so much speaks a lot towards how well that campaign was run in the last couple of days.
And that campaign has got to keep running. In November, he's going to be facing Democrat Jermaine Johnson. South Carolina hasn't seen a Democratic governor in over 2 decades. So you think this will still be an easy coast for Wilson into the governor's seat?
Well, I think one of the things you can look toward is that there's a lot of attention that's going to come to this election. And the governor's race is still going to lead the ticket. And there's going to be potentially debates, right? Issues to be talking about. And both of the candidates now with experience in Columbia are going to be well versed on what their plans could be. And so we're going to see another contrast, and that's going to drive a lot of attention to this.
All right. And so, of course, the voters will be going to the polls back in November, and lots of campaign time still left for the candidates headed in. Dr. Owens, thank you so very much. Thank you for joining us.
All right, Tessa, thank you. Well, with Mark Smith vacating his seat as the state representative for Berkeley County, another runoff tonight decided which Republican will look to replace him. Jared Brooks winning the Republican nomination for District 99. He defeated Christy Gore with 65% of the votes. He'll face off against Democrat Samuel Price in November. And in the Republican primary runoff for Agriculture Commissioner, Cody Simpson winning that nomination, beating out Danny Ford. Well, coming up next.